Welcome to another episode of the Swords and Sports Podcast. One man journey to read 52 fantasy books in 52 weeks and create 52 podcasts documenting the experience. I'm your host, Mike Mogues, and this week I'm joined by the electric D.W. Ross. He's here to talk about his book, Cold from the North. The interview is coming up right after some of these details and announcements. Speaking of announcements, it's the last week of Self-Published Fantasy Month. I was so thankful to be asked to be a part of the team for this year. The interviews that I've been putting out have all been featured on selfpublishedfantasymonth.com, as well as all types of fun activities such as writing prompts, written interviews, and other stuff that I forget at this point, but you can go check it out on the website. Scroll down to the bottom, that's where the fun is. I guess also if you're listening to this already, then you don't need to go to that website, but get them some hits, get them some clicks, go on there, refresh it again, click on some stuff, because they're supporting some of the best self-published fantasy out in the game. Besides that, you can follow this podcast on all your podcast listening platforms and the main viewing platform, which is on YouTube. I'm really trying to build that channel out, so any subscribers and likes and comments and stuff like that are so appreciated. I want to keep doing this, and with your support, I can make that happen. Follow the social medias, of course, Twitter, Instagram, all types of stuff going on over there. And let's get on to these book details. Oh, before I do that, I just want to say congrats to both Holly Tinsley and Crystal Matar. Holly was on as part of Self-Published Fantasy Month, and Crystal Matar is just one of my favorite people that I've ever gotten the chance to talk to. They are both finalists in this year's SPIFBO. I take great pride in interviewing the finalists of the Self-Published Fantasy Blog-Off every year. This would be the third year in which I would have been doing it, but all three finalists of this year, well, four, I guess, because one of them's a dual book, all of them I've already interviewed, so let's see. It's exciting that these people that I've talked to are really succeeding and striving, and this year has proven to be a home run of incredible self-published fantasy books. So if you want to follow that contest, it's really difficult to find online in terms of like their SEO. But when you do find it, you'll realize that it is the most popular writing competition going on in the self-published fantasy community. So get involved in that. I feel like it's a perfect intertwining of what this month is celebrating and then a contest that includes, books that fit this criteria. Book details. Cold from the North is the name of the book. The author is D.W. Ross, the Scottish King. The series is the Onyxborn Chronicles. It was published on November 14, 2020. It is 471 pages. It is a self-pub book, as I have already mentioned. And the books in the series are Cold from the North, obviously, and The Darkest Dusk. What's darker than dusk? The Darkest Dusk. As always, this podcast contains spoilers. They are riddled with spoilers. So if you haven't read the book yet, first off, go buy it. Maybe buy it in both formats. Buy it in 3 formats if you can figure out a third format. Listen to it. Read it. View it with your eyeballs. And then listen to this interview, because D.W. Ross is a ton of fun, and I really enjoyed getting the chance to speak to him. Without further ado, my friend D.W. Ross. It's the final week of Self-Published Fantasy Month, and that means I had to bring on an extra special guest. I promised him a wrestling intro, but now that I'm on the spot, I ain't doing it. It's D.W. Ross, author of Cold from the North, which is book 1 of the Onyxborn Chronicle. Welcome to the show.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent, Ross. It's so nice to have you on. My first question is, how do you become a former pessimist?
Start looking at the bright side of life and like trying to really look at things and go, why did I not like that? Like, I'm trying to be really optimistic. Pessimism is actually really draining. So I just figured, you know what? Let's just try and be positive.
Okay, because those seem like the type of tips you get in a self-help book. I need some real tips here, because it's very comfortable being pessimistic despite being not fun.
It is, right? So it wasn't a self-help book. It was basically just me realizing sometimes you would sit and you'd worry about something you couldn't change. And I'd be like, what's the point? Because now I have me, I have books, I have my wife, I have my daughter, I've got cool things in my life. I don't really need the shit bits.
Okay, that's maybe I can apply some of this to my own life because everything seems grim and dark, and I guess grim dark. What the fuck is Irn Bru?
Irn Bru. Irn Bru is Scotland's drink, if you will. So I think Irn Bru is the number one selling drink in Scotland. So if I describe how it tastes, the American who has tried it, that I believe the most, said it tastes like cotton candy. So it's like bright orange, luminous orange. And it's Scotland's one of the only places in the world where like Coca-Cola is not the number one selling drink. It is Irn Bru. So I drink a little bit too much of that, I'd say. That's probably going to be the first thing I look for in a sponsorship.
Okay, so let's get on the horn with those people.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
how many? I guess there can't be many places where Coca-Cola isn't the predominant soft drink.
Exactly. So I think it's a big deal. It's got quite like a Scottish culture. So a lot of like the adverts and stuff you see on the television are like really, really Scottish. So like if you watch them, you might not really get like what's going on, but there might be some words and things where you'll be like, what the hell does that mean? But I know exactly what it means, and like the whole Scottish country is like, okay, this is a bit risky. Like, yeah. I'll send you some links and I'll let you know what I'm talking about.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, for sure.
Not only support self-published authors, but support self-brewed soft drinks. I don't know if you brew a soft drink, but
yeah. Well, I'll send you some. I'll mail you some over because I don't think you can get it in the States.
Man, that is something. How many people are in Scotland that's keeping this conglomerate going?
5 million tops.
There you go. That's the population of a borough of New York City. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane.
We need to get one borough to be on there too, and then we could double the population of people who drink this.
There you go, and we can start the trend.
Hey, if people want to be trendy, so let's maybe soft drinks are the next avenue for this. Speaking of, it is self-published fantasy month, and I feel obligated to ask, what does self-published fantasy month and self-publishing mean to you?
It's a good question because I don't really know. I never really went down the trad route, to be honest. I always kind of knew that this is the way I wanted to go. It means a lot because it means I can just write what I want, publish it, hope people like it, and if they do, like maybe write some more, which I've been lucky enough to do. But to be honest, it's just an incredible community. I think even it was Justine who obviously introduced us. Like, Justine has been amazing since day one. There's a whole host of people that I can't even remember the names of to shout them out, but it's all about community and support and kind of letting you know that even if you can't get an agent or something, if you've got a story, somebody's probably going to want to read it, and you should chance it and do it yourself.
That is a good point. Shout out to Justine from Whispers and Wonders, who made the huge mistake of asking me to be a part of this, but here we are. That obligation question has gone pretty well, despite the fact that I feel like I have to ask it. So that was a good answer. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was excited to ask this, and you do post it everywhere, so it is important to you. How does a Scottish guy become a Texans fan?
Right, okay. So I was a Cowboys fan for the longest time. So basically,
you gotta end this interview. My bad.
Oh, wait, trust me.
Okay.
So I'm going to backstory this. So my dad played American football over here in the 80s, and kind of introduced me and my brothers to it. We played a little bit when we were younger, and I was a Texans fan growing up, a Cowboys fan growing up, and I was like, right, I love this team. This is it. This is great. And I wasn't even a teenager, but they were my team. And then Tony Romo broke my heart year after year. Fair play to him. He's now the best commentator in the game. But
he is good. I can admit that.
Oh yeah, he's perfect. But then when I decided I no longer wanted to be a Cowboys fan, I was like, I don't want to, but I didn't want to do the usual thing that was like the glory hunting where you go, oh, I'm going to support X team or Y team. Basically, I just looked and I was like, the Texans are brand new, 2002 based, formed. I was like, I'm just going to go with them. And then I
That's
watched
actually
Hard Knocks, and I loved Brian Cushing. So even though he's a complete meathead, and then yeah, that's it. I'm still a Texans fan despite what they're currently doing to me.
Yeah, actually, they didn't look awful, but
No, I think watching Tyrod like pull up with an injury and being like, oh no, our whole hopes and dreams are on your shoulders, and now you're injured for 4 weeks, and yeah, so. But yeah, I'll always strap in and just be like, right, this is my team, and I'll just go with it.
I mean, one of the only ways that you could switch teams is if a completely new team forms and you're done with your team. So
Yeah,
glory hunting. I like that. I think we call that bandwagon fans here.
yeah. I couldn't do that, and I almost went with the Buccaneers, because that's like
They had
my
just won, right around
yeah,
that time.
and they're my dad's team. But then because
Okay.
they just won, I was like, I can't go with a team that's just won the Super Bowl. So because that was back in I think 2002 or three. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow, very interesting. Was there a big American football presence in Scotland in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, because I think it was on like we only had like 4 TV channels back then. Oh my, I wasn't even born, right? But it was on Channel 4, and like there was this big
Of
massive
course.
thing, and it was I think it was like Walter Payton, like, and all these like Barry Sanders were all these players at the time that everybody was like, whoa, and they were in the commercials, and it just took up. And there was a couple of like amateur leagues where like a lot of like my friends and like my friends' fathers played and stuff. So yeah, and then I don't know if you know this, but we had NFL Europe, like
Yeah,
in the 90s and in the early 90s. So I was a big Scottish Claymores fan. So yeah, it's wild.
it's a saturated sports market there though. But I have a few cousins from Ireland and they're huge NFL fans. So
Yeah.
it's not like I wasn't completely surprised by this. It just is just the Texans. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Everyone I know from Europe who's a football fan is like a Jets fan. So
Yeah. Jets, Bears, Patriots. Yeah.
right, like the classics. No, but you know what? Shout out to the Texans. They're doing better than the Giants. So there you go.
Is that your
Um,
team?
yeah, sadly. Oh my God, they're awful. You
Yeah.
mentioned Brian Cushing being a meathead, and I actually had this written down. Are you a meathead?
I eat meat, but I'm not like a complete psychopath. Yeah.
But you're a big gym rat, right?
Yeah, I try to be. Try to be.
You see, you're sounding like coy about this.
No,
Why don't
I'm
you just
not. I'm not like. I wouldn't say I'm like a gym rat. I just. Yeah, I go to the gym like 5 days a week. It's like an outlet.
right? But you were, I think, in November of last year, you were CrossFit competing.
Yeah. So the gym I go to is a CrossFit gym. So the personal trainer I had when I started like losing weight and stuff, he does CrossFit. So I get exposed to it. I quite enjoyed it. Competed last year, and then I might be competing this November. I'm not entirely sure. It just depends if me and the guy I'm partnered up with qualify.
What is the qualifying standard for that?
We need to do like 3 workouts, and then we have to film it and then submit our times and scores, and then it obviously goes against the other people who are doing it, and then depending on how many spots you are up the leaderboard, you'll qualify, and then we get to go down to the actual like in-person event in Newcastle. So
That sounds awesome. Is there a
yeah.
big, when it comes to like self-policing, I imagine that there is some cheating in there.
I don't know. I'm not as exposed to it as that because I'm still in like the lower kind of categories.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I only really see like my coach and like the owner of our gym doing it, and they're amazing. So yeah, I don't see them cheating. They're just fucking units.
Yeah, I mean, so that's actually super exciting. Is there a crossover between CrossFit competitions? Oh, see what I did there? And fantasy books. Like someone should
No.
do a CrossFit montage.
I know. I think I want to do that. I want to like work in fitness to my night. No, I don't really. But yeah, it's class. It's an outlet. It's good fun. My wife does it as well. She's just coming back to doing it after giving birth to a little girl. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. It's good to have something bonding with your significant other that's like,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
health positive.
yeah. And when like we moved into our new house like the week before lockdown hit in the UK, so we were like we bought a bunch of weights and just started training in our garage, like our garage, as you would say, our
Yeah, I was
garage.
getting, wow, look at that. You're talking to a bunch of Americans.
Yeah, I've got some like really close friends that live in like Boston. So I know like they're actually coming to visit me soon. So I'm trying to slow the accent down so that I can get used to them hearing me speak again.
There you go. Are they going to be surprised by your midlife crisis nose ring?
Yes. I think one of the guys, Mikey, actually had a nose ring, but I think he's grown out of it. Whereas, like, I was like, nah, let's just do it. Let's just fucking go for it. Why not?
You know, you're not really old though, so it's not really a midlife crisis.
I think it's because I don't drink anymore. So I used to drink a shit ton of alcohol. And then at the end of 2019, I stopped drinking. And because I stopped drinking and then the pandemic and stopped going out, I felt like I was losing a little bit of that like moshery, rocky, punky identity that I had for so long. And I was like,
There you go.
I need to cling on to this a little bit longer. Like, as you
I
say, I'm
think
not that old.
I think a lot of men in our age who quit drinking do something like that. I think very commonly tattoos is something that a lot of people do.
I've got a shirt on, but yeah, like I went and got 2 tattoos yesterday. So
Oh,
I
did you
know,
really?
yeah.
What do you got? Let's see. Oh, you're good.
It's on my legs, so I'm not going to show you right now. But I got a little snake's head, like a gap filler from my friend in Edinburgh, and then I got a little thistle, just obviously because I'm Scottish. So yeah,
A little thistle?
yeah, a wee Scottish thistle.
What the fuck is that?
Like a thistle. Do you not know what a thistle is?
No.
It's like what it's a thistle is effectively like our little national flower.
Okay.
So it's like a little Scottish symbol. So I got one of those, like just two little like palm-sized gaps on my legs. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's some cool stuff. Did you ever figure out what the point of wisdom teeth are?
No. And I have another one, like I had that one coming in and that was deadly. And then I now have this one coming in, which is it's not as bad, but it's like taking longer to come through. But at the same time, my daughter is teething because she's only 4 months old.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, we're going through this together. It's fine. It's okay.
Oh man, what a bonding experience.
Exactly. We just look at each other and like, you're in pain. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I try not to be dismissive of professions, but I actually believe that I could perform some dental surgery. I believe I could remove someone's wisdom teeth with zero training.
Honestly, let's do it. Like if we ever meet in person and it's still bugging me, let's do like the Castaway thing where he puts like the thing, the ice skate in his tooth and then like punches himself or whatever he does. Let's do that.
I would sadly, I probably recommend you have to go back on the drink if I'm going to start cutting in your mouth. But, so maybe we'll hold off on this.
Yeah, if I can avoid the hangover the next day, I'd probably do it.
All right. Was your mind blown when you learned that pepper was a fruit?
I feel like I'm on Hot Ones or something. Yeah, I thought my wife was like taking the piss out of me. I was like, there's no way. But yeah,
I know. They got more vitamin C than an orange.
Right. And now that I did a bit of deep dive and I know a lot more about peppers than anyone really should do, I totally get it. But back then I was like, you're like, my wife knows I'm quite gullible. So sometimes she says things because she knows she can get me. But yeah, I'm still mind blown by it.
No, I mean, I'm trying to sound smart. I literally just learned that because I was looking up healthy foods like 3 months ago because I was tired of, eating cinnamon rolls every day.
What is a cinnamon roll?
A cinnamon roll? Oh my God. They're like God's gift to earth. If that's what you believe in, whoever's gift to earth. They're like a pastry that's just loaded with like cinnamon and icing. You know
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
If you send me Irn Bru, I'll send you a Cinnabon, and then something will
All right.
go. Something will probably go amiss
Yeah,
because
we can work that
make no mistake about it. I don't understand international shipping.
out. No, me neither. It's all I know is it's expensive and I don't like it.
That's got to be an issue for Scottish authors like who want to ship out their book because like everything's international, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like that's why I stuck with KDP was because I knew that if I had it on KDP, if someone bought it in the States or Australia or anything like that, they wouldn't get hiked up fees because it'd be using like a local printer. So that
Okay.
made it quite easy. But like I've got hardbacks coming out soon and I'm terrified to stock them on my own because it is about 17, I think it's like 17 or 18 pounds to send a paperback. So
Who
a
knows how
hardback
much real money that is?
exactly. That's literally about 4 so I think it'll be about £20 to send one hardback, and I don't really feel comfortable charging people that. But by the same time, I don't really have enough money myself to just start paying £20 postage for people to have a hardback. So I don't know how that'll work, but cross that bridge, I guess.
I believe in you. You will figure it
Thank
out.
you.
I don't know why I have so many food related questions, but I got more. Can you tell
Well,
me
look at
more
them.
about
I'm a former fat person. Like,
I think it's because I haven't had breakfast yet. Can you tell
yeah,
me more
probably.
about sexy little hash browns?
I really, oh my God. I just love a hash brown, man. They're like literally like you just can't beat a hash brown. They go with everything. They go in breakfast wraps. They go just on the side of normal breakfast. They go with your dinner if you want them to. You cannot fault a hash brown.
That is a good point. I did find that tweet of yours pretty funny. I like people who are able to have, some fun with their sobriety. And they're like, now that I'm not drinking, I've got more room for roasted potatoes. And I was like, sick.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly
Amen.
it. Like that is where my head goes now. I'm like, so I won't be bloated. I won't be drinking beer or vodka or rum, but there's like an extra 10 roast potatoes. I can totally have those.
Nobody
Yeah,
talks about that in early sobriety.
exactly. I mean, if you ask me, let's just substitute vodka for real potatoes. You don't even need to ferment it, leave it. Just eat the potatoes and never touch the vodka. It's just better.
this is this is this is getting wild.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're an expert level chili maker.
Yes, I am.
What goes into that?
This is where it gets complicated. I don't have a recipe. I just know what I put in it.
You just you're like a
Yeah,
savant. You
pretty
see
much. I'm
the
just like
ingredients, it
this
creates an
and
expert
that
level
and
chili.
this. Yeah, and like I've never had a bad. I've only made bad chili once, and I think I just put too much tomatoes in it, and my wife was like, "Yeah, that wasn't very good." But yeah, expert level. Like never fault it.
Never, not even so. If I threw you in just like a random kitchen, I was like, make a chili, man. You'd be like,
Oh
of course.
yeah, I got you. As long as I have the only expert thing I need is cornflour. That's it. I just need cornflour. That's my
Okay.
only need.
Can you make chili without corn flour?
I can. It just means I need to cook it longer.
Okay. Okay. So you can overcome any adversity.
When it comes to chili, yes, I absolutely can.
Okay. Man, that confidence is just incredible.
No, I'm sorry. It's I've I've been doing like
Don't apologize. You
okay,
should
okay,
be
okay, okay.
proud of what you can do.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. I'll beat anybody's chili, anybody in the world. I'm laying
There
down
you
the
go.
gauntlet. That could be a focus. Maybe if Justine's listening, that could be a focus for next year. Where we could have like self-published chili off.
I can see the book sales rolling in as you're
Me
saying it.
too. Yeah.
There you go. That's
Medieval
the thing.
chili recipes. Yeah.
What happened to your defunct website, Swords Castle Sports?
To be honest, I think it just lapsed around the time my daughter was born. And to be honest, when my daughter was born, I had all these like grand plans for how I would keep writing and everything, and then I just didn't want to because I just wanted to kind of hang around with her and like not really fuss on writing too much. I think I got the Darkest Dusk out like it was ready to go out, but I think I got that sorted just in time because she was a couple of days early. But then I looked at the website and it's not there, and I was like, I'll deal with that when I have time. But yeah, being a new dad takes up some time.
That's like that just does sound like one of those things where you're like going on a long flight or something. I'm gonna get all this stuff done, all this work done, and then you're like, you're in the chair. I guess in this case, you're
Yeah.
holding your daughter, and you're like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was just looking at her going, I can either just sit and stare at you while you roll about and do nothing, or I could fix my website. And I decided just to hang about with her.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right choice. I'm sure your wife appreciates that.
Yeah.
So you write in complete silence and you edit with instrumentals. Are you just against words?
Yeah, I hate them. No. I don't know what it is. It's the same as like when I'm reading. If I'm reading and it's like maybe like my wife's got the TV on, I have to have headphones in with like some like white noise or something, because if I hear words, I think about the words and it blocks out what I'm reading. So
I kind of feel the same way with the reading. If my wife has like shitty reality TV on, I just can't focus because it just keeps roping me in. And I'm like,
yeah,
what the
yeah,
hell is going on? But I understand that. So you hate words as a writer. Interesting.
yeah.
What are the top? We seem to have very similar interests in movies here, but what are the top battle scenes for movies of all time?
Braveheart, the Battle of Stirling in Braveheart is incredible. It's literally just English on one side, Scottish on the other side, running into each other, and then zoning right in on the battlefield. A couple of little individual battles and fights, and then just focusing straight in on Mel Gibson and his
More Mel
rather
Gibson.
rather risky portrayal of William Wallace. Oh, sorry, I just noticed what I have here. Oh.
There you go. Look at that.
But yeah, that battle scene's
That's good
incredible.
timing.
What else is good? There's a couple of scenes in Kingdom of Heaven which I watched after posting on Twitter saying I need movies to watch, and somebody said Kingdom of Heaven. That is amazing. The scene in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the Kevin Costner one, where they're like attacked in the forest when they've got their little like forest like camp, and they're attacked by like the kind of barbarian kind of guys. That's class as well. Sorry. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. You had those locked and loaded. Good for you. I
know.
So
not much goes on up there.
I think that my favorite battle scene is when Achilles fights Hector. I think that's the best one.
See the bit where he puts the sword like behind his head, and
yeah,
he's like the sword. Oh, that bit. That's a great movie. That's an unbelievable film. Troy.
Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't. It seems like it's just me and you in that boat who think that one is amazing. I don't know why that doesn't get as much credit as it does. That movie's great.
Even the bit where I think it's Achilles throws the spear like 200, 300 yards, and
my god,
the guy next to Hector, and they're all like, "Oh my god!" That like, how can you not like that? Is just I'm gonna go and watch Troy after this.
That movie gets me pumped up. Okay, I think my last question before we get into these book questions is: how can you have never played Halo but love the soundtrack?
Okay, so I never played Halo because I didn't have an Xbox. I was always more of
that's
like
a good reason.
Yeah, I was always more of a Sony guy, and then I got an Xbox, and everyone was saying, right, you have to go back to Halo. There's no other choice. You need to. So I bought it from like a secondhand like game store, and I put it in to play it, and the disc didn't work, and I was
at that point,
I was like, well, that's fate. Like, I was like, it's just not meant to happen.
But you like the soundtrack. Do you think there's people who listen to like movie soundtracks who have never watched the movie?
Yeah, I'm probably one of them.
That is a weird move. I like it.
It is. It just like I listen to this like Spotify playlist, and it's just called Writing Fantasy, and it's just a culmination of like game soundtracks, movie soundtracks, and you just shuffle it because there's like 4 days worth of songs on it. And
right.
And then sometimes you'll look and be like, oh, okay, I've heard of that movie. I didn't know it was in there. So
that actually makes more sense. All right, let's get into these book questions because you have written a book. It is Self-Published Fantasy Month, and we're here to talk about it. As always, this part of the interview contains spoilers. So if you haven't read the book yet, get on it, and then you can enjoy these questions. For question number 1, The Eternal Bridge. That was a lie.
It really was, wasn't it? I was like, I put all this lore in, and then I was like, I just destroyed it in like one fell swoop with like a pretty entry level mage. I was like, okay, like that is what it is.
I think that was exactly what was in my notes. I was like, that was a lie. That was a lot of setup for a bridge to get destroyed in a second.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I beat myself up about it a little, and then I was like, but how exciting is a bridge really?
That's a good. I mean, it's more exciting when they collapse.
Oh yeah, especially if they're not meant to, and especially if, I mean, I don't want to get too spoilery, but especially if it leads to pretty tumultuous events that kind of catapult everything forward. So,
Oof, if we're getting spoilerly there, let's just include another warning because it's going there. At the bottom of the Bane's pit is Bane there.
yeah, like I don't know which version. Like my personal favorite Bane was the one in Batman and Robin, like the one with like Mr.
Oh,
Freeze and stuff.
really?
So we'll put him down there, like not the Tom Hardy one. Let's put the other one down in the bottom.
Oh yeah, because I think the Tom Hardy one, despite that movie being not as good as the second one, is one of the best villains of all time.
Oh, for sure. It's all the voice. I think it's
I
creepy
think
and weird. Yeah, he's a good villain.
uh the guy who refused to take a step from that ledge, causing a bunch of people to fall off a cliff and die. Pretty good practical joke, right?
Still a little bit.
that was brutal.
It was. And again, I was trying to like think how I can make it brutal, but not like too brutal. So I don't know if I succeeded, but it was a bit mean. I wish I'd kind of explored maybe more repercussions for that guy. But
that guy is awesome. He might be the
yeah,
hero of the story.
yeah, he's the main antagonist now.
He's like the Matt Cawthon of your books here. He's just a practical joker doing some funny stuff.
Oh, look at me, just standing on the ledge, not like we're being chased. Ha ha ha.
Is Trevan the only guy who gets smarter the more he drinks? This guy is fucking incredible.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if you've read book 2, but when you get there, there's like a snippet where, if we're doing spoilers, he's now allowed to drink, if that makes sense. So nobody's limiting his intake. He's not confined to the wee room or anything, and he's definitely feeling a bit more himself because he's able to drink and kind of be in that constant state of just Traven.
Oh yeah, so he just stays on the juice. I like it.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have like a preference for wine or whatever we make up in these fantasy worlds. He literally has like a bottle of grog. Do you know what I mean? Like the dregs of everything.
Just the grimiest stuff you could get down your throat to get the most effect out of it. Gotta respect it, I guess.
Yeah.
If you could make fire, would you ever let another man slap you in the face?
No. No, I wouldn't.
I'm not for burning people up. Well, maybe if I could, throw fireballs, I might be a little more inclined to do it. Maybe it's a lack of ability that really holds me back from that. Maybe a moral compass. But if another guy slaps you in the face, I mean, burn him, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like thinking back, I could have. I think I wanted to make Melkin a bit more subdued, like just a bit more scared, and then like that was how his arc develops because he gets a bit more confident. But yeah, you're right. Like I think I allude to like a wee spark happening, but it would have been nice if we maybe set something on fire. It didn't have to be like Brandon or anything, but something.
I mean, he's got incredible self-control because how quickly while farming in a frozen field would you be like, fuck this, I'm setting a fire?
That was another thing that I tried to, like, that was one of my big loop rounds where I was like, so if he's magic and he can produce fire, why can he not do it right now? Do you know what I mean? I was like, what? And then I had to like think about different ways. But yeah, like I think at the beginning of the book he says something along the lines of, that's not how it works. Like I can't just call upon it. And I had to write that in because I was like, well, why wouldn't he just be like, no, fear not, people of Broadheim. So yeah.
I mean, the reasoning is there.
Yeah.
Also, are you wearing an Owen Hart shirt? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody check that out on YouTube. That shirt is sick. That was completely off the cuff. Yeah, I would say fuck these superstitious idiots. It's freezing out here.
Yeah, I'd be like, you can't call me a freak or a mage or anything if I literally light all the fires and solve all the problems. Then I would be a savior, not
I mean, the book's
So,
not
yeah.
called From the Warm North.
Could be warmth from the milking.
How good is Wilder's grip strength?
Oh, dude,
Incredible.
Yeah, he does a lot of like little wrist curls and stuff.
That was literally a lot of wrist curls. That was literally on my. That one's going over the audio's head.
Sure.
I had to get one in there. That was literally my question. What's his forearm routine? Yeah. Man, you're really jumping ahead of my questions here. We're on the same page.
I'm so sorry, right? I'll stop.
No, this is great. It's good that we're on the same page.
I feel like I've been speaking to you for years. Like I feel like this is not the first time we've spoken.
I don't know if that's speaking well to your conversational abilities or just how lowbrow I am.
Combination of both.
Does this guy Cole really never blink? Because I feel like that's a superpower. We need a character who doesn't blink.
Who's that?
I think he's like the butcher, or he just doesn't blink.
Yeah, he just doesn't blink, like the whole time.
That's fucking sick.
So he can always see. Because that's what second when you blink, you're just like, what happened?
That'd be awesome. Was it a sneaky genius idea to saw your ear off to stop hearing voices?
I don't think it worked, but yeah, that's what he thought it would. You're talking about
Loken.
Yeah. When he was like getting tormented. Yeah, it's genius, but it didn't work.
Well, that's because he only sawed off one ear.
Exactly. Like if he went the full way, he would have been some weird Voldemort guy, but it might work.
Speaking of my guy Loken, he's a real ladies' man, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a lady killer.
A lady killer.
Literally, figuratively, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I might edit this question out, but kind of a good idea if you want some sons to murder all the female children or murder all the women who don't produce male heirs.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and then I was like, that's a little bit too Henry VIII, isn't it? I was like, it's just a little bit too. And again, like this, the whole Cold from the North bits with the bad guys, that just, because when lockdown happened, that all came at me so quick. Like, looking back, there's a lot of development I wish I'd done, but I'm happy with how it went. But that all came at me so quick. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking make him dig with his hands and like lose his fingernails and blah, 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 and all that stuff.
I like it. Lady Petunia Canlin, what a fall from grace for that lady. From head mage to homeless hag. Since her eyes are like crusted shut, is it fair to say she didn't see it coming?
Yeah, very, very fair. Well, no, because she feels the presence inside her, i.e. milking. That didn't sound right. That's going to sound really weird on audio. But yeah, she did not see it coming because she's such a crusty old lady.
Is there real armor out there that has pockets for messages?
I hope so. Imagine how handy that would be.
Yeah, but I mean, I was pretty surprised. I was like, man, that's a good feature. I can't believe no one's ever thought of that.
It's like whenever I speak to my wife and she says she gets a dress with pockets, and she's like really happy about it. I'm like, well, armor with pockets would be handy, right? Even if it's just a little pouch on the inside. Like,
do you think that's why all men's stuff has pockets? That originally everybody was in armor and they're like, shit, I wish I had some pockets in this thing, and then they just created clothes with pockets?
Yeah, because could you imagine if you're like a messenger and you're going from A to B to deliver a really important message, but it's like only in your mind and then you forget it? If you had a pocket, you could put a note in there. You know what I mean?
You're onto something, because let me tell you, I would forget the message the second I left wherever I was. I feel like shit. I can't go back.
You get there and be like, yeah, hi, bye, it's me.
Especially if my leader was Nordith, right? Like he's not very nice to the people who give him bad news.
Nadrith is not a nice person at all. He's a complete sociopath.
Would you ever even talk to him?
No, I'd be terrified to speak to him. He's the kind of person, like, if you look at him the wrong way, he'd probably just cut you. I don't really feel like having that.
With no repercussions. So
Yeah,
I guess if you
there's nobody above him. You're right. There's no repercussions whatsoever. He literally is the be all and end all when it comes to authority for his people.
All right, we're having a lot of fun here, but I do ask one serious question every podcast, and this is it. What about your books kind of breaks that traditional, outdated, stereotypical view of fantasy that it's kind of whitewashed, written by, people trying to appeal to men in their mom's basement with neck beards, with riddled with misogyny and lacking diversity. What about your books kind of brings this fantasy to either a more general audience or branches out from that traditional, outdated, stereotypical view?
Yeah, I think trying to make it towards more of a general audience for me was trying to make it not about like a great, amazing single character, if that makes sense. I was trying to split the power and influence across the ensemble, if that makes sense. So whether it be like I don't think there's any, I know obviously the two main characters in the first book are like male, but it definitely like between book 2 and book 3, like there's more of a representation for like Fada becomes a much bigger part. People like Kandasa play a much bigger part, like Runa and things like that. So just trying to kind of spread the love a little bit over the ensemble rather than just having one main protagonist who had all the powers, all the cool shit and all that. It was more about how can everybody learn from each other as they go through the journey a little bit, and how can different people look at things different ways and influence other people's decisions. So it plays out a little bit more in book 2, I would say, because book 1's definitely like a scene setter. But yeah, it's definitely something I thought of. I know like my books are pretty trope heavy. I'm never going to shy away from that. Tropes are there for a reason. It's because they work. But yeah, I don't think I've actually answered your question. That was just a big waffle. But I think it's weird because I feel like I'm still learning. I feel like as much as this is like my first series that I've written, I don't think it'll be my best, just because I think I'm learning as I go. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more room for more representation and things. And one of the comments somebody pointed out on one of the reviews was, I would like to know more about the cultures. And I think that's, and how they differentiate from one another. And that's definitely something I'm taking on board to go into the next books. Like, what are the cultures? Why are they diverse? Like, how diverse are the world? What different backgrounds? How do they differ from each other? And exploring that and things. So yeah.
I think that's a great answer, and we're looking forward to you teaching us more about the culture. Did Yadlin have the shortest, least fun Rumspringer of all time?
What? Rumspringer?
I think it's something that Amish people go on. There's like a week where they go party and they completely
So you're talking about like when he goes and he says he's going to do the more debaucherous things that he never got to do. Oh yeah, absolutely. He never even made it to the big city. He was like, he was still on the road, and then he got, done in.
Dude just wanted to stick it, and instead he gets stuck. I was excited about that one.
That's semi-filthy.
Also a great way to follow up a serious question. On this show, I pitch novella ideas that authors do not want. I've got a good one for you. Can I pitch it to you?
Absolutely.
The book is called Steak Bay, and we follow the tale of Sansel Steak Bay as he goes from town to town, blessing princes and paupers with top quality meat. And and he's just slinging that meat all over the place, kind of like Salt Bay. Instead, he just and there's all types of hijinks that get involved when you start slinging meat around from town to town.
Oh, big time.
I loved this guy, by the way. I thought this guy was great.
I think you should never mind novella, go full 3-part series with this guy.
I was thinking 5, but all right.
Okay. Five gives us some room to play with. I'm not gonna lie, I'd read that. Like, I feel like you should put that like in Reddit. There's like those writing prompts. I think you should put that in the writing prompt section of Reddit and see what the community there comes up with.
I'm too scared to post on that fantasy Reddit thing.
Oh no, it's just called writing prompts.
Right.
You just put in like a little paragraph about what you think the story could be, and then other people chime in. So I think you could do that. That'd be fun.
This wasn't for me though. This is for you to write for me.
Oh,
this is your guy.
Cool. I'll write that. I'll write that.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe he gets his meat from Call the Butcher. Who knows?
Oh yeah. Well, this guy is going town to town. Where does he get his steak from? How are you a traveling steak salesman?
I know. Cole just has to like chase him down with like really fast horses and be like, "Here's your steak." And then,
this guy is slinging steaks everywhere.
Right. I'm gonna write this. Oh shit! I've just realized what you're talking about. Big Sanso with the one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My God. Sorry. That's the caffeine wearing off now. Yeah. He is literally just a steak salesman. How does he do it? I don't know. His sons are really good. His sons are really good at catching big cows, and then they get the meat and yeah. Oh. Yeah, now I feel like an idiot. Yes, so Sansel, the meat slinger. I totally forgot he's even in the story. Jesus. I'm gonna write a little backstory on him. He could be cool. Like, how did he lose his eye?
That's true. He's slinging too much meat.
Slinging too much meat, get kicked by a bull. Who knows? There's opportunity. He maybe slung a bit of meat to the wrong person's wife, and then they caught up with him. And they cut his eye out. I don't know.
I'm loving this. Now we're finally on the right track.
Apologies.
We're there. This guy Cedric, I'd already be wiping your guts off my blade if I got you in my day. I'll still be doing it today. Anything worse than claiming you're going to win something and then getting absolutely wrecked?
Yeah, no, that was sad. I think it's because at the time I was like, let's make him win. And then I was like, nah, I kind of need the Grim Knight a little bit further down the line.
Yeah, this guy is the coolest character. We can't have him dying in his one-on-one.
Yeah, don't worry, he's still going. I'm still writing book 3 and he's still going. So
good. And I think the last book-related question I've got is Danrin's drinking inadvertently lead to his dad's death?
Oh, yeah, that didn't it? He wanted to go and have like one final drink. He was away from his dad's side, and then, oh, maybe that's something. Yeah, okay, you're onto something.
I think so. That's what I read. I was like, damn, bro, if you just didn't get that try to get that last brewski, your dad might still be living.
Exactly. Shit.
I think that's all the book-related questions I've got. What do you got coming up? What can we plug here?
Coming up. Depending on when this airs, hardbacks will be available from. Do you know when it airs? You like to tell me?
Next week.
Hardbacks might be available from an excellent independent bookseller based in the UK, who I'm not going to name just in case they're not ready yet. But hardbacks are coming. Cold from the North. Hardbacks of The Darkest Dusk will be coming end of this year. Audiobooks on the way for Cold from the North, and then Darkest Dusk will follow shortly after. Book 3 is being written and should be out early 2022, and then I'll be starting my next series, I think. So yeah,
that is so exciting. Look at that, you got a lot to promote. I like it.
Yeah, and then I think the only other thing is I'm just looking forward to. I've got a week off next week, so I'm just going to spend that reading Joe Abercrombie's new book, and Jesus, I can't wait. So yeah. Are
you promoting Joe Abercrombie's book? There you go. That's the mark of someone who's. That's the mark of someone who's made it when other authors are promoting their book.
No, it needs to be shouted out. Like, I've seen the cover so many times. I've got my copies like right over there, but I'm not even looking at it because I'm in the middle of a first law reread. So I'll get to it.
And where can people find you?
DW Ross 8 on Twitter, DW Ross 8 on Instagram, and then roaming about people's podcasts, talking really quickly in a thick Scottish accent.
I don't think it's that thick, but thank you so much for taking the time out. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Mike, thank you. That was awesome. I've not done many of these. I was lucky enough to do one with Fancy Addict. That was great. This is also great. Just want to say you're another person who has been very welcome in the community, really nice, really helpful. And yeah, it was fucking excellent to chat to you, man. And I hope we get to do it again.
We will, definitely. Talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Self-Published Fantasy Month was an absolute blast. I was really honored to be asked to do it. I love highlighting my self-published fantasy author friends. I mean, I consider them friends. Who knows how they feel? But we're getting back into some classic trad pub, as the kids in the street say, coming up next week, because we've got books on the horizon. The Kingdom of Liars by already superstar and future megastar Nick Martell. And if you want to say I don't know who's going to be a superstar, I said it in my interview with Crystal that she was going to be big, and now she's a finalist. So don't say I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't. I have no idea. After that is a fantastic interview with Melissa Caruso, whose new book is coming out on October 12th. So pick that up. And it's The Obsidian Tower. Then after that, we've got Godblind by Anna Stevens, and that interview was hysterical. And I can't wait for everybody to see that. Godblind is fantastic. And then after that, maybe Under the Pendulum Sun by Jeanette Ng. We're still trying to work that out. And who knows what's coming after that. Tons of fun stuff. Continue to bring out the content. Thank you, everybody who's been rocking with me. Keep on reading or something. Peace.